Anthony Albanese is facing pressure over free upgrades on Qantas flights he received over more than a decade.
A new book has revealed Anthony Albanese liaised directly with former Qantas boss Alan Joyce to secure upgrades for his personal travel, and he allegedly did it for years, long before becoming PM. Here with more is Federal Politics editor Katina Curtis. Katina, can you tell us what we know about Albo's travel habits?
Sure, Ben. So what this new book reveals is that they went through the PM's back years of declarations of interest and found, I think it was at least 22 upgrades on flights that appear to have been personal travel, not just work travel. The sort of interest, there's two interesting aspects to this. One is that a lot of the upgrades were on trips to Europe. So, that's quite a long way. And if you pay for an economy ticket and then suddenly find yourself sitting in business or even first class, I mean, it's a fair whack that you haven't had to pay for. And the other aspect of it that is really what I think the book is getting at is that in large part this happened while Anthony Albanese was the Transport Minister and then the Shadow Transport Minister. So he held that portfolio for a very long time. He held it throughout the Rudd and Gillard governments and then in the two terms when Bill Shorten was the opposition leader. So the suggestion from the book is, that Qantas was trying to make nice with the minister in charge of the area that looked after them. Now, the PM says, well, everything I did was within the rules. I've declared all of these upgrades as I'm supposed to, which is, it's true. It's there on the register of interest to see. What the sort of the details that are missing from those declarations are, what was the dollar value of the upgrade, and was it, did he buy an economy seat? Did he buy a business class seat? And what was he bumped up to? So, the PM is saying, look, I've done everything within the rules, which does seem to be as they stand. Perhaps the rules need to be tightened, but there's certainly a lot of interest and a lot of questions about this, and a lot of politicians being asked today, have you ever had upgrades? Have you ever asked for upgrades?
And from those questions, who else has been caught out in this upgrade debacle?
Look, Jim Chalmers this morning said, I can't remember if I've ever had one, but maybe I'll have to go and check my records. And then he's had one now. It was a domestic flight. I think it was Sydney to Brisbane with his family in early 2018. And Bridget McKenzie, who's the opposition transport spokesperson, she went on television and she said, privately, I haven't received any upgrades from Qantas at all. I've never sought one and I've never been offered one. And then some interested parties in the government have had a look at her register of interest and found, she also got an upgrade during 2018. Now, I actually, for unrelated reasons, had cause to be looking through all of the register of interest for the current term of Parliament last week. I was looking for something else entirely, not Qantas upgrades, but it did sort of catch my eye that there are quite a number of politicians who do declare that they get upgrades on flights with some regularity. So, it does seem to be a reasonably common thing. And look, if someone said to you, hey, would you like a better seat? I mean, I probably wouldn't say no.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can understand it. But I think the key thing here is that it's an airline who it looks like an airline trying to curry favour with the relevant minister.
And so where do you think this will all go? No doubt while the media still has some interest in the topic, there'll be politicians outed for upgrades, and I'm sure across the political divide it'll happen to nearly all of them. Is it just really about what passes the sniff test and what doesn't?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, politicians are generally not in great standing with punters at the moment. I think it's probably just another one of these stories that sort of adds to that. almost lack of trust in politicians and general sense that, oh, they're all in it for whatever, whatever they can get, which I don't actually think is true of most politicians. But there definitely are some who would appear to enjoy the perks of office more than others. But I think that it's probably just adds to that general impression that people have that politicians, as a whole entire cohort, are out of touch and don't really understand what it's like to be me, average Joe,
Yeah, especially during a cost of living crisis. Federal politics editor Katina Curtis, thanks as always for joining me on the Nightly Five.
No problems, Ben.